Hello, my name is Noah B, and I am going to give my video reflection on the NetGenEd Flat Classroom project. Personally, I thought this was a very interesting and fun project, and in this reflection, I'd like to share my opinions with you. So, for part one, I am supposed to give my definition, per se, of game-based learning and an overview of my topic. Now, in my blog post, I have given the 4 hyperlinks that I found very interesting and that I think that you should definitely check out. In game-based learning, to make an activity, quote-unquote, game-based, I believe that there must be both competition for the player, and the player must feel engaged to the game. Now, for the competition aspect, this sometimes can be somewhat tricky, as described by Lepper and Cordova. However, I believe that there must be some type of score being kept or any incentive for the players to achieve or do well in the game. Players may not necessarily be competing even against each other. In fact, many games have players working as a team to overcome some sort of obstacle or opponent which is built into the game, or even to achieve and acquire some sort of gift or reward at the end for doing well in the game. And part two, the second part, is engagement for an activity to be considered game-based learning. Once the player or learner starts the activity, he or she does not want to stop. Now, this is very important in the game, and Lepper and Cordova also found that curiosity, challenge, fantasy, and control of the game all make a player engaged to the game he or she is playing. And the two most interesting facets I found about game-based learning and speed are the fact that, well, I found that it's very important in everyday life. For example, I needed to check the internet for an acceptance email or rejection email. Turned out to be an acceptance. That's positive for me. For a summer program that I applied to. And at the time, the server was rather busy, and this delayed me so much that I decided to wait until the next day. And I found that when the servers aren't busy and internet is speedy, then the user is a much happier, more satisfied person. The wiki editing process, that is part two of the reflection. My wiki team, I feel as though we worked hard, game-based learning. Some of the problems and obstacles I encountered in the wiki editing process and the wiki adding process was the fact that sometimes some of the information I felt as though was incorrect at times, and I felt as though that some people should really take advantage of the preview option before saving their wiki edits, and this allows them to review it before it's finalized and see if there are any spelling or grammatical mistakes, which I found were numerous throughout the wiki editing process. I took it upon myself to edit some of these. So I found that I was editing a lot of grammar and spelling errors that really did detract from the wiki at times. My group did adequately cite sources. I found. Personally, I do think our wiki could have been somewhat better maybe if there was a little bit more information added to it. As of now, it's a pretty substantial page, so I am fairly satisfied with my wiki. The outsourced video. What was the outsourced video I created? For somebody named Brody C, I created a video that had me reading a magazine and a friend of mine videotaping me saying how surprised I was that somebody named Gil Bates was a billionaire because of a game he learned how to play in school. Unfortunately, this video did not make it into his final video. However, I did definitely understand what was asked of me. I feel as though I made a pretty adequate product. I felt as though I definitely made a great effort in creating his video. I certainly had to retake it a few times because I felt as though I wasn't satisfied with it. And being that I didn't know Brody C, I feel like I have to really make my best impression on him and give him my best effort. So my outsource for some reason did not appear in his final video, in his finalized video. I'm not sure why. I really did put my greatest effort into it. I requested a outsource. I put it on the wiki, and what happened was nobody responded to it. It was a fairly simple request, and yet I had no responses by anybody to ask for or to tell me that they would create it for me. I specifically laid down all of the specifications I needed for my video, and what I needed was an extra normal video. And if you've used the site Extra Normal to create a video, you'd know that it's very simple, very easy to use, and unfortunately nobody responded to me. So at that point, at a later point in the project, we were allowed to have somebody else create it for me. So after much persuading, I got my brother to do it, and he created a very good Extra Normal video. I thought he seemed to be a pro at it after maybe 10 minutes of creating an account. My initial idea for the video was going to be more about somebody playing a game and seeing how important speed is to this game. And my initial concept for my outsource video was somebody using Rosetta Stone, the learn a language software, and playing a review game and saying how important it is for the system to get back to you quickly and telling you whether or not you've selected the correct answer. I personally feel as though my video is highly acceptable. I think it's very satisfactory. It is exceptional. It's an exceptional product, I thought. I personally could have perhaps made a greater effort in, I suppose, advertising my outsource video more instead of resorting to my brother having to do it. And I feel as though I did do a good job, and as did my brother. Also in my blog post, I included the names of 2 other students in the project, one from my own school and one from out of my school, nobody I know. And I thought that both of their videos were exceptional. So thank you for listening to me and taking the time to listen to my reflection.